Hello and welcome, Rangers. I'm Joe, here with me is my co-host Dan.
Hello and greetings.
And we have another episode of shot-for-shot analysis. This time getting into the Rock Golem fight with the Rangers. This is part 2. Now, the beginning of this fight is really chaotic, with the Rangers swerving and just trying to avoid the bladed weapons, and just generally trying to kick and bludgeon at the enemy without realizing at first this isn't a good idea. The first one to come up with a genius statement is Adam saying, "Oh, they're made of rock." No.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
Billy could have told you that.
Billy's conclusion after kicking one and not really meeting with much success, then trying to kick the other and getting his foot caught by him and thrown back, is to just conclude they're strong. Which I consider that more of a fair statement because he didn't know how strong they were. Now he's got a good idea, so he knows to avoid, I guess, short-range combat, so to speak. Kim's basically just bolting for up the hill because she can't physically match these things. I mean, she's what, 5'2", and up against a rock golem.
She's on the defensive and she needs to...
Well, let's be honest, Tommy and Rocky are on defense as well, so,
they need to find their...
They gotta fight smart, not hard. That's what they need to do.
Exactly.
And thematically, it's interesting that it's Adam and Kim who end up the ones racing away from these things first. Arguably, Kim has the history of running away from her problems emotionally. But she's never really been, in the first 2 seasons, the one to run away from an enemy. She's usually the one who always wins. So that, for anyone who's pretty familiar with Power Rangers, they'll know she is the last person you expect to run away. She's always... because she's basically been the most powerful Power Ranger up until the White Ranger showed up. She's forced on defense. So, well, to fight defensively. All I'm going to argue is this is actually a bit of a subversion that lacks the bite of a lot of subversion. They've more changed things around, you know what I mean? So Kim can't just one-shot this thing like she does some of the bosses of every episode and whatnot, like the one who she had to use her bow like a harp with. Like, there are enemies that she could one-shot like that, and that none of the other Rangers could. Now she's having to rely on the other Rangers to help her, which this is actually a twist I really do like. Because otherwise, if we went by the logic of most of the episodes of the TV series, she wins. When, we want it to be a team effort. So they do need to kind of wharf the strongest member on the team without wharfing her too much. And yeah, I know Tommy's the most powerful, but even Tommy's struggling and having to back away. And Billy, who's the most brilliant, is out of plans at the moment because... in this case, these things are too strong and relentless for brains to really matter. And he has no tools to work with and no powers to work with. He's essentially got rocks, wood, and his own body. There's a limit. Adam, for his part, has kind of been acting really interestingly in this movie as kind of... I don't know if you noticed, Dan, but he's kind of been supporting the team. Throughout the series, he's always the one who needs the support from Rocky, Aisha, and others, right? He's always like the kid brother. But Rocky's basically raging quietly. He's seething in his own corner. Aisha's been quieter than usual, although she's herself a little funny in this movie. It seems like Adam's been picking up the slack and trying to be the support member for the rest of the team. Emotionally trying to keep them going. But, you have a clear... difference between how Rocky normally is and how he is in this movie and how Adam normally is and how he's forced to behave in this movie. It's kind of like, I would argue, arguably let's take Yu Yu Hakusho. Kuwabara arguably holds back the team at quite a few points. But in the finals of the Dark Tournament, he's actually one of the ones carrying the team. Also emotionally and physically. Like, he helps win his match. Kurama's the one who's holding back the team a little because Yoko Kurama is basically useless because he just lets his enemies power up. He's basically the Vegeta of Yu Yu Hakusho, while Hiei and Yusuke are the ones who, no offense, but they automatically win their matches. So it comes down to either Kuwabara or Kurama.
Kuwabara, whenever he won his matches, they were matches that he needed to win, that it did matter.
Yeah, I'll grant you. Yeah, fair enough. And that's the thing. Adam is never the one... Like, we're not saying he's stupid. No, he's actually really smart. But he's having to support the team when normally he's not the support member. He's not the family keeper, as you tend to call it, right? Or the family guardian. He's the one who's always supported by them because he's the kid brother. I think he is the youngest on the team, actually, come to think of it. But he, like by a few months or weeks or something, but he's actually having to kind of play big brother for them.
Mm-hmm.
The problem for two Rangers lies along the same lines of thought here. And that's with Aisha and Rocky. Aisha, with the Ranger powers, is usually one of the physically strongest. Like, I'm not talking like power, I just mean physical, like bronze. So when she hits the enemy, she's expecting recoil from him. He doesn't recoil. Kimberly is able to do that somehow, because too much pink energy is dangerous and all. But Kim also used leverage and the fact that its footing wasn't exactly secure. Aisha's not in that situation, and yet she thinks, well, I'm going to hit him, he's going to recoil, I can use that to carry the fight. No, he doesn't react. So Aisha, the thing is, without the superpowers, without the super strength and whatnot, what is she? Physically, like, what is she? A 5'2" or 5'4" black woman.
Yeah.
It's...
What can a girl do
against a giant freaking... Well, not giant, but like a 6 to 7 foot golem. Not much.
It's like...
And that gets to Rocky. Not like he's much more use. Because he tries to jump it thinking, well, I'll use body weight, leverage, momentum. You know, this is actually kind of relying on physics.
Yeah.
Like, he's using gravity to back himself up and to drag it down. What was his plan? Was he going to drag it down into the pond down there with him? Wasn't the best plan, but, you know, from just looking at it from a pure physics perspective, it's a pretty good plan. He miscalculated the weight and muscle of this thing. Remember, it just bats him aside and he's now hanging by a thread. Or a vine, I should say. So, like, the problem is his plan probably would have worked perfectly if he had super strength. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's used to it as well. Like, you could tell which Rangers are like, okay, with the powers, when morphed, I'm stronger than, like, Superman. I can just smash him to pieces with one punch. Oh, right. I don't have it. Shoot.
Now I have to think my way out of this.
Well, the funny thing is, Rocky and Aisha are really smart. They're just forgetting and acting dumb. Like, if we'll recall, Aisha's the one who comes up with the plan to kill Ivan. Rocky helps back up Adam in the first part of the film, when they're morphed initially. So, like, these two are usually team players. They're reliable. And in the second season, they are extremely reliable and really ferocious fighters. It's just the problem is they're fighting enemies that they need morphing powers for, and they're not morphed. And of course, now, interestingly, Rocky's always the one who saves Adam. I don't think it happened too often that Adam had to save Rocky in season 2. Dan?
I think that is indeed the case because Rocky does tend to pull through and...
Like, yeah. but here he's the one needing rescue. It's interesting that it's made it so that Ayesha, Kim, and Rocky, who always save others, are the three who need rescuing in this fight. With it being Adam, who does need a lot of rescuing in season 2, Billy, who needed a lot of rescuing in the first half of season 1, Tommy, who needed rescuing constantly in season 1. These are the characters who do the rescue. They shifted the roles around, I think, to maybe showcase the character development. Suddenly, Billy, Adam, and Tommy... Well, Billy did save the team all the time with his scientific inventions. He's carrying the team that way. But in the actual field, he needed the rescuing for a good chunk of the first half of season 1. Second half, he really started carrying a good chunk of the team at times. But, they shifted the roles around. It's a really neat writing trick, meant to showcase the character development of half the team. And now, let's actually analyze one last thing. Adam takes Rocky's plan and does it better. Because the thing is, the monster had secure footing when Rocky went to jump on it. But Rocky didn't have anything to hold him. You know what I mean? He had no stability himself. He's relying on its weight. And its sight, its ability to mean, whatever, its center of gravity. Adam waits till it's basically tipped over the edge as it's trying to slash at Rocky before he kicks it right in the eye, which blinds it temporarily. Well, maybe not blind is the right word, but just disorients it momentarily. So that then, because its footing wasn't secure, it falls over. So Adam actually pulls off Rocky's plan better than Rocky here. And it's all because, he waited for the creature to be on the edge. Because it likes life on the edge. Sorry. Couldn't resist that little joke. And, of course, we get Adam. Okay, 1 down. And 3 to go. Now we know the exact number. And we know these things die when they make contact with water.
So you either have to...
Pulverize
or send them into the water where it can't swim.
Well, apparently it dies on contact. So there's a solution.
Yeah.
Take them to the beach. I'm joking. But that's enough for part 2. Part 3, we're going to get into how the rest of them go down to the rest of the team. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to smash that like and that subscribe button, because we're almost at 500 subs. Let's go, team. Let's get there. And remember, Rangers, may the power protect you.